Picture this, early 2022, the world on edge, the UN holding a critical vote. But just a few years earlier, the world had already been shaken, when President Trump slapped a 25% tariff on imports, sending shockwaves through global trade. Headlines blared about trade wars, and countries scrambled to protect their economies. For India, this was a wake-up call. Indian and Russian officials began discussing new ways to keep trade flowing, sidestepping the dollar and tariffs altogether. Soon, Indian goods were being exported to Russia, and both nations found ways to bypass the old rules. All eyes are on India. The West, led by the US, expects India to fall in line and condemn Russia. But India abstains. Silence fills the room, a geopolitical mic drop. This wasn't just a random move, it was a calculated statement. India would no longer play by someone else's rulebook. For decades, global power meant following Washington's lead. But India, with 1.4 billion people and a booming economy, just said, "We'll decide for ourselves." This act of defiance was more than politics. It was a signal of a bigger shift, a challenge to the dominance of the US dollar. India wasn't just making a political stand, it was planting its flag financially. Imagine the guts in a world where the US calls the shots. India chose its own path. It wasn't about picking sides, it was about being its own side. This moment set the stage for a massive economic pivot. While headlines screamed politics, the real story was in trade agreements and spreadsheets. India and Russia saw an opportunity, bypass the dollar, trade in their own currencies. This wasn't just about saving on fees. It was about building a financial fortress, immune to outside pressure. The foundation? The Indian rupee and Russian ruble. It was the start of a de-dollarization duet. India's message was clear. Its foreign policy and financial future would be dictated by its own interests. The world's rules were being rewritten, and India was holding the pen. The old order had just been challenged. Why does the dollar matter so much? Simple. It's the world's reserve currency, the default language of money. Most global trade, from oil to electronics, happens in dollars. That gives the US enormous power. If you want to buy or sell on the world stage, you need dollars. And that means playing by America's rules. This system, born after World War II, made trade smoother, but also gave Washington a powerful weapon: sanctions. The US can freeze assets, block transactions, and cut countries off from the global economy with a flip of a switch. It's the ultimate trump card: dollar dominance. The US can print money to pay its debts, and the world has to accept it. For decades, this was just the way things were. The dollar was king. But when you use a weapon too often, people start looking for a shield. After seeing sanctions on Iran, Venezuela, and Russia, countries got nervous. They realized their economic sovereignty depended on the goodwill of the US Treasury. So a dangerous question started to spread. What if we just didn't use the dollar? That question is no longer whispered. It's being shouted. India and Russia are leading the way, showing there's an alternative. The world is watching, and some are ready to follow. The dollar's grip is starting to loosen. So, how are India and Russia doing this? They built a rupee-ruble trade system. Indian companies buying Russian oil pay in rupees, deposited in special accounts at Russian banks in India. Russian exporters get paid in rubles. No dollars involved, no US oversight. It's direct, fast, and private, a financial bubble shielding their trade. When the West sanctioned Russia, India stepped in, buying oil at a discount, fueling its growth. This isn't just about oil. It's expanding to fertilizers, weapons, and more. Russia gets a massive market. India gets essential goods at bargain prices. They turned a crisis into an opportunity, shopping with their own currencies. The world is watching this proof of concept. If India and Russia can do it, why not others? Every rupee-ruble deal chips away at dollar dominance. The tide is rising, and the dollar's kingdom is getting wet. This isn't just high-level politics, it affects you. When India buys cheaper oil, transportation costs drop. That means lower prices for food and goods. The money saved can be invested in roads, schools, and healthcare. For young Indians, it means more opportunities and a stronger economy. Discounted Russian oil isn't just a number, it's a down payment on India's future. It boosts national pride and confidence. India is charting its own course. Young people see their country making bold, independent decisions. This inspires innovation and ambition. And it's not just about India. Other developing nations are watching and learning. They see they can create their own systems and partnerships. The rupee-ruble deal is a masterclass in economic self-determination. It's a lesson you can challenge the status quo if you have the courage and the right partners. The ripple effects are just beginning. The big takeaway? The world is changing, and India is helping rewrite the rules. It's not about being anti-West or pro-East, it's about being pro-India. Multi-alignment is the new strategy. Make friends, strike deals, and put your people first. True independence means strong, diverse relationships, not dependence on any one power. This is a blueprint for the future. Be flexible, build alliances, and think for yourself. Don't just accept the rules. Ask why they exist and find smarter ways to play. In the 21st century, the most powerful currency isn't the dollar, it's confidence. India's story is about finding its voice and using it. By defying the dollar, India and Russia are redrawing the map of global power. Sometimes the boldest move is to quietly, confidently do what's best for you.